tahimik nating mundo, di natin inakalang magkaganito.
Bigla na lang nagkagulo, ang bulkan ay mag-alboroto. Ang tadhana tila nananadya, bigla ang pagdating nitong pandemya.
Maraming bagay ang nagbago,
Matutuloy pa kaya ang Pasko? Huwag kang mangamba, lahat ay kakayanin basta't nagkakaisa. Tibayan ang loob at sa Diyos ay magdasal. Pagdurusa natin di na magtatagal, tayo'y aahon, tayo'y babangon. Pandemya lang ito, Pilipino yata tayo, tuloy ang Pasko, padayo. Sa pagsubok, tayo'y di bibigay. Sa umagang kay ganda, tayo'y maghihintay.
tamaan man tayo ng bagyo, kapit misig lang kaya natin to.
Kaya pangako ko sa'yo, lahat ay kakayanin basta't magtulong tayo. Tibayan ang loob at sa Diyos ay magdasal. Pagdurusa natin di na magtatagal, tayo'y aahon, tayo'y babangon. Pandemya lang ito, Pilipino yata tayo, tuloy ang Pasko. Tayo'y aahon, tayo'y babangon. Pandemya lang ito, Pilipino yata tayo, tuloy ang Pasko. Pandemya lang ito, Pilipino yata tayo, tuloy ang Pasko. Pandemya lang ito, Pilipino yata tayo, tuloy ang Pasko. Padayo.
Good day, our dear viewers! Hello, good afternoon sa inyong lahat, especially to our grade 5 learners, to our dear parents, and to the teachers as well. Are you ready to listen to our English tutor this afternoon? So, if you're ready, please prepare your notebook, pen, and your materials. Ito na po, ipapakilala ko na ang atin pong ginoong tutor. Please welcome Mr. Mark Anthony C. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi. Hi. Hello, Ma'am Joy. So, ayan, nakapag-rest na kaunti yung
Ayan.
boses ko. Kanina ko parang, ay, gumagasgas siya. Ayan. Pero wag mag-alala, itutuloy natin ang ating session for today. So, we are now going to have our grade 5 learners. I'm sure marami ang nagtatanong, mahirap ba ang English 5? Ang sagot ko po, Depende po sa inyo. Ayan. Kung makikinig po kayo ng mabuti, uunti-untiin ko po ito kagaya na ginawa ko with other grade levels. So, to our learners, maraming salamat man, Joy. So, to our learners, please make sure that you have now your self-learning module. We are using the pivot Calabarzon na rin, or you have with you your pen, paper, tapos humanda ng makinig dahil ito pong topic na to, medyo kinakabahan ako kasi ito pong lesson na ito ay kalimitan, dito po maraming nagkakamaling mga learners dahil hirap na hirap pag pinag-usapan ang verbs kasi ang verbs ay hindi basta-basta. Meron tayong tinatawag na subject-verb agreement. Pero mga bata, hindi ko kayo tinatakot. Kinakailangan lamang lang makinig kayo ng mabuti para makuha ninyo yung technique. I am here ulitin ko, I am not here not as your teacher, but I am here as your online tutor who will guide you for you to easily understand the concepts. Okay? Umpisahan natin ha. Makinig mabuti. Wala akong hinandang PowerPoint dahil naniniwala ako na ang lesson, kailangan mong makinig ng mabuti, susulat ng susulat. Sabi nga nila, if we are writing, kung anong sinusulat natin, nare-remember natin, naaalala natin. Kaya mga bata, powerful yung ating pen. Powerful kapag nagsusulat tayo. Kaya yun ang ating gagawin. So listen to me attentively, okay? Sa mga magulang na nanonood, makinig ng mabuti para kapag ginaid yung anak ninyo, confuse kung ano igagaya para maintindihan yung concept o lesson. Okay? Ready na ba? Ako, ready na. So, for weeks 1 to week 3 lesson, for grade 5, it is all about verbs. But I will not tackle everything in one shot because I believe that if I'll do that, mabubuang ang mga bata. yun po talaga. Kinakailangan ay unti-unti. Kapag na-master na, then we move to the next level para confident kayo na paano natin maiintindihan ang tungkol sa verbs. Okay? Verbs. Verbs are action words. Ganun kasimple. Anything that has an action, yun po ay verbs. Sa mga bata, magbigay tayo ng halimbawa ng verbs. Halimbawa, eat, sleep, talk, walk, jump, listen, speak, climb, touch, kick. Lahat ng mga yan ay verbs. Kaya nyo bang magbigay sa akin ng iba pang halimbawa ng verbs? Pwede mong isulat sa iyong notebook. Write down 3 equals verbs. Action words ha. Kilos. Halimbawa, bat. Naliligo, di ba? Mag-isip lang kayo ng kilos. Brush. Yung mga ganun. Isip kilos yan. Okay? Sulat kayo ng 3. If you are watching via Facebook, you can type down answers. Ganito yun. If you are not confident in English, try your best na umisip ng simpleng salita basta makapagbigay ka sa akin ng verb. Okay? 3 lang ang hinahanap ko. We'll have 1 minute for this. Give me examples of verbs. Ready? Begin! Sabi ni Dan Castro, writing, correct. Jump. Sabi naman ni Maria Pena, taking. Magaling. Also, sabi ni Dan Castro, kompleto na sagot niya, dance. All of these things, these are verbs. So, online, how about kayo? Ano ang inyong kasagutan? Give me 3 examples of verbs. Para sure ako na alam yung action yon ha. Okay, according to Rachel Joy Aquino, play. According to Juliana Miel Bunye, read, run, laugh. Very good. Next, according to Ma'am Donna Ravino Guerra, clap. Kay Ma'am Jima Pondok de Chavez, sabi niya, talk, sing, clap, magaling. Mga bata, tatandaan lagi na anumang kilos ay verbs. But our actions should be good. Remember, if we are doing these things or these actions, always remember that when we do these things, we are looking at what is good and what is right. Never do an action which is bad. Ano ibig ko sabihin doon? Pinag-aaralan natin ang action words, kilos. Maliban doon, kailangan alam din natin na yung actions natin ay dapat na mabuti. Halimbawa, we clap our hands, right? But we clap our hands to praise someone, but we are not clapping our hands to say, you are wrong. That's not good. Remember, our intention when we do our action should be good. Okay? Next, if we are laughing, that's an action which is actually good. If we are laughing because it's fun, natatawa tayo. But if we are laughing with someone else, dahil pinandidirihan natin, kinukutya natin, mali yon. So remember, when we study about action words, bear in mind the good values in it. Okay? Hindi lang basta alam natin ang concept, kinakailangan we do the correct actions. Clear? Now that we know the examples of these verbs, at alam na rin ninyo na importante na ang tamang kilos, ang susunod dyan ay paano natin gagamitin sa sentence. Ayan. So sasabihin ng bata, Sir Mark, paano ginagamit sa sentence ang verbs? Makinig ng mabuti. Maraming paraan kung paano ginagamit ang verbs. And we will tackle today about the simple tenses of the verbs. Can you repeat that? Simple tenses of verbs. Ibig sabihin ng simple, basic tayo, pinakasimple para hindi ka malilito. At dapat makinig ka ng mabuti para hindi ka masyasyak o maguguluhan. There are 3 simple tenses. Repeat after me. Past tense or simple past tense, simple present tense, simple future tense. Again, let's repeat it. 1, 2, 3, begin. Simple past tense, simple present tense, simple future tense. At dahil dyan, yung tatlo na yun ang ituturo ko ngayong araw. Sisiguraduhin ko na maiintindihan ninyo yung lesson. Okay? At dahil dyan, gusto kong tignan ninyo yung example sa page 6. On page 6 of your self-learning module, there is an example here. Let's read it. Ready? Number 1. Tita Joanna works hard to send her children in college. What is the verb which is used in the sentence? It's obvious, it is works. Absorb. Sir Mark, paano kaya ginamit yung works? Simple tense, simple past tense, simple present tense, simple future tense. Ako ang sasagot ko dyan, simple present tense. Ituturo ko paano naging simple present yan. Okay? Basahin natin yung susunod ha. Ready? Begin. She worked as a waitress in a restaurant last year. What is the verb which is used? If you answer, naka-highlight na, worked, then you are correct. Sir Mark, Tutor Mark, ano ang kanyang tense? Yan ba ay simple past tense, simple present, o simple future? Kung ako ang tatanungin mo, ang sagot dyan ay simple past tense. Paano nangyari yon? Huwag kang mag-alala, ituturo ko. We go now to the third sentence. Let's read it. She will work in a foreign country to support her children's education. Is highlighted, will work. Tutor Mark, paano siya ginamit? Simple past tense, simple present tense, o simple future tense? Gusto mong malaman ang sagot? Ang sagot dyan, ang sagot ko, simple future. Paano naging simple future? Yan ang ituturo ko. 3 bagay ang ating tatandaan sa araw na ito. Paano tayo makakabuo ng isang sentence at malalaman natin kung ito ba ay para sa simple past tense, simple present tense, at simple future tense. If you are ready, I am also ready, and I'll go to the board, write down examples, and I want you to be attentive para matukoy mo kung paano natin magagawa ng tama ang pagtukoy sa tamang sagot. Okay? So let's go! Kita na ako. Ayan. Hi! I'm back with my whiteboard. Ayan, dito po tayo sa ating whiteboard. Makinig po ng mabuti ha. I want all of you to turn your self-learning module on page 7. Dito tayo sa page 7 ha. Sabi dito, there are 4 types of verb aspects. Simple, progressive, perfect, and perfect progressive. For today, I will only teach you about simple tense of the verb. Yung simple tense lang. Dahil ito ay naka week 1 to week 3, nasa week 2 pa lang naman tayo, yung last lesson ng part na ito, ituturo ko next week. Kinakailangan yung foundation ma-absorb muna ninyo at kapag nakuha ninyo yun, the rest will follow. Maliwanag? So, we will begin with the simple aspect. Ayan. When we talk about the simple aspect of verbs, we have 3. The first one is what we call as the simple present tense. So, magbigin tayo sa present ha. In the simple present tense of the verb, kinakailangan tandaan natin na meron tayong rule dyan na sinusunod. Meron tayong tinatawag na subject-verb agreement at kinakailangan ay mag-jive sila. Gagabayan ko kayo kung paano natin matutukoy yung tamang sagot. Look at these examples, okay? Meron examples dito, yun ang aking gagamitin and then I'll explain it. Okay? First one. Our first example says, the earth rotates around the sun. Let us determine the verb which is used. What is the verb used in this sentence? If your answer is rotates, then you are correct. How can we say that rotates is the correct answer? As a simple present tense. I want you to look at the subject. What is the subject in this sentence? The earth rotates around the sun. The subject is earth. Since this is a subject, what kind of a subject? Is it a singular subject or a plural subject? Ilan ba ang earth? Isa lang. Therefore, our subject is singular. Based on the word singular, ang clue, singular, kinakailangan ang verb mo ay may s. That's why the earth rotates around the sun. If your subject is a singular subject, make sure that your s will have in the verb. Meron siyang s para maging rotates. Therefore, if your answer here is nilagay mo, the earth rotate around the sun. Tama ba ang rotate? Yes or no? If your answer is no, tama. Dahil yung earth ay subject na singular. Kaya nga, singular. So pag itinransfer mo siya sa verb, may S yun. Kasi ang verb na singular ay may S. Nakuha po ba? Ibig sabihin yung rotate, anong klase siya ng verb? Is it a singular verb or a plural verb? If your answer is a plural verb, tama kayo doon. Huwag malilito ha, kaya nga ito yung ginawa kong technique ni Flo. Pag nakita mo na ang subject mo ay isang singular, yung verb mo, lalagyan mo ng S. Pero kapag ang subject mo ay plural, anong gagawin mo? Walang S. Clear? Let's move on. Walang eraser. Ayun. So, erase ko na to. So, I hope naintindihan ko yung unang example, ha? So, mga bata, tatandaan, hindi natin basta-basta inilalagay ang ating verb nang hindi natin tinitignan ang ating subject. We need to consider first the subject before we write down our answer. At ipiniliwanag ko yung kanina ng mabuti. If our subject is singular, we use the singular form of our verb. At yun nga, singular, may S. Okay? Now we move on to the second example. Next one. Delia walks to school every day. What is the verb which is used in this sentence? If your answer is walks, then you are correct. Let's see if the answer is correct. If it is grammatically correct, let's check the subject. What is the subject in this sentence? Sino ang pinag-uusapan? Sino daw ang naglalakad? If your answer is Delia, this is your subject, then let's ask, is Delia singular or plural? If your answer is singular, therefore, singular is a singular subject that needs a singular verb at ang singular verb ay may S. Clear? Hindi yan pwedeng maging walk. Hindi yan pwedeng maging Delia walk to school every day. Kahit magandang pakinggan, wrong grammar. Bakit? Tignan nyo. Ilan bang Delia yan? Isa lang naman siya. Hindi pwedeng walk. Dapat ay walks. Nakuha ba mga bata? So sa mga magulang na nanonood ngayon, ganun po ang paraan ng pagtuturo para matukoy yung simple present tense. Kinakailangan, tukuyin muna natin kung ano ang subject, ilan ang subject, at kasunod nun, doon natin i-adjust ang ating verb. Okay? Let's move to the next example. I'm going to use the third question. Third sentence. The sun rises in the east. Again, let's read. The sun rises in the east. What is the verb used in this sentence? Anong verb ang ginamit? Anong action? If your answer is rises, then you are correct. Now, let's check if it is properly used. What is the subject used in this sentence? Ano daw ang sumisikat o yung nagra-rise sa east? Kung ang sagot mo ay sun, that is your subject, I'll ask you again. What kind of a subject? Singular, plural? If your answer is singular, therefore, singular, there is an S. Therefore, the sun rises in the east is the correct grammar, correct answer ang rises, at hindi pwede ang rise. Bakit? Ilang araw ba yan? Isa lang eh. So, if we have one subject, if we have a singular subject, we need to have a singular verb. Singular verb. Yun ang clue. Tignan kung paano ko ginagawa ang turo para matukoy ang tamang sagot. Okay? Let's move on to the fourth one. So nakita na ninyo mga bata doon sa ating self-learning module kung bakit siya na-consider at isang simple present tense. Okay? Now we move on. The fourth sentence is, ito yung kadugtong ha, ang sentence natin ay, they spend their vacation in Batanes every year. What is the action word or verb which is used in this sentence? If your answer is spend, then you are correct. Now, let's check. If this one jives with the subject, our subject, take note, is not always a noun. Kanina puro noun eh. Earth, Delia, Sun. Our subject can also be a pronoun because a pronoun replaces a noun. Therefore, in this sentence, what is our subject? If your answer is they, then ask, what is they? What kind of a subject is this? Anong klase siya ng pronoun? Ito bang pronoun na to ay singular or plural? Tumutukoy ba siya sa kaunti o marami? They. They. Singular, plural. Di ba plural? Dahil plural siya, tignan nyo. May S? Wala. Therefore, for us to determine if this one would have an S or ES o dadagdagan ba o hindi, tignan ninyo yung mismong subject. Pag ang subject natin ay isang singular, ES or S yun. Pero kapag ang ating subject ay plural, wala yun. Walang S or ES. Therefore, in a simple present tense, we need to make sure that we need to have either an ES or an S. Alin man sa dalawang ito ang ginagawa sa simple present tense. Simple present tense, nangyayari sa kasalukuyan, nagaganap talaga siya. Maliwanag ba? At ganun natin yon matutukoy. Therefore, if we want to understand further about simple present tense, I want you to move first on page 10. Sasagot tayo ng pagsasanay, walang online. Sasagot tayo, tignan natin kung kaya nyong tukuyin yung tamang verb sa ating pong sentence dahil tinuruan ko na kayo kung paano i-determine kung yan ba ay may S o walang S. Kung yan ba ay ginagamitan ng singular verb o plural verb. Pag singular verb, singular. Pag plural verb, wala. Ganun lang yan ha. Tandaan, huwag malilito sa technique na yun. Huwag niyong i-interchange kasi pag na-interchange ninyo, zero makukuha ninyo. Baliktad lahat. So, let's have it. Magpapabura muna ako ng board before we have that. Again, prepare your pen and paper and make sure that you are ready with page 9. We will answer learning task number 2 all together. Okay? Ayan. Habang binubura po ni Sir, ayan. Nagandang ba kayo sa sulat ko? Diretsong-diretso, no? Ayan. Parang ginuhit lang, di ba? So, again, for our learners, please make sure that you are holding your pen and paper, including your self-learning module. For parents who are currently watching, look at my presentation carefully para pag ginaid ninyo ang inyong mga anak, ganun po yung way na pwede nyong gawin para mabilis nilang matukoy yung sagot dun sa mismong tanong. Okay? Tandaan ang technique, hanapin muna yung subject. So let's have number 1. Basta-basa pa. In our first sentence, it says here, water, is a resource that every living thing cannot live without. In this sentence, we need to look for the simple present tense of the verb. If we try to look at it, let's look for the subject. What is the subject? Water. What is water? Singular or plural? What? Singular. 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 Therefore, our answer is. Water is a resource that every living thing cannot live without. O, di ba? Kahit is are. So, ibig sabihin nun, kinakailangan matukoy pa rin natin kung ano yung tamang sagot based doon sa ating subject na ginagamit. Okay? Next, we go to number 2. I think. Thinks. Now, we have number 2. I leave you with this item. Think of it kung ano ang sagot. Analyze carefully. I thinks. I thinks about the importance of water in our daily activities. If we try to look at it, we have our subject, which is I. Ano kaya sa tingin niyo? Singular siya, di ba? Pero ano kaya ang dapat na sagot dito? Analyze it. Next. I'll keep that one hanging, and then afterwards, we'll go back. Okay? Next, number 3. Now, if we move on to number 3, look at the question. The learners answers the questions about water conservation. Look at our subject, learners. I will also leave that one to you. Think and analyze about our answer. Please refer to what I have mentioned earlier. Di ba sabi ko kanina, kapag tayo ay sumasagot, ina-analyze natin ang subject para matukoy natin yung tamang sagot para sa simple present tense na ating inaaral ngayon. So, if we will focus here in number 3 and you look at the word learners, ano kaya ang pinaka-tamang sagot? Choose the best answer. Now, lipat tayo sa pang-4. Now, in number 4, Teacher Mara convinces
the children to save water at home and in school. Just like what we had earlier, please make sure to refer to the subject. Hindi ko iginalaw muna yung unang tatlo, i-imagine o i-analyze kung paano siya sasagutan. Tandaan natin, importanteng hinahanap muna ang subject bago tayo makatukoy ng tamang sagot. So, Teacher Mara, subject, singular, plural. Kung ang sagot mo dahil isa lang siya, singular, singular, therefore, what's the answer? Convinces. Teacher Mara convinces the children to save water at home and in school. Ganon ang tamang proseso. Titignan. Dahil etong dalawang ito, ang convince at convinces, ay pareho naman kasing simple present tense. Kailangan lang natin mga bata alamin paano natin gagamitin yung tamang simple present tense para hindi tayo marunong grammar. Kaya dapat tignan ang subject para matukoy ang tamang sagot. Okay? Now, if we go back, the learners, may SO, singular or plural? The learners answers the question about water conservation. If your answer is answer, then you are correct. Why? Learners, plural. Ano ba ang plural ng verb? O yung plural form ng verb? Answer. So, ibig sabihin nun, itong mga ito na aking inilagay ay mga halimbawa ng tinatawag natin na verbs. Now, I left a cliffhanger question with number 2. You need to analyze, paano kaya to? I think about the importance of water in our daily activities, or I think about the importance of water in our daily activities. This will be a very challenging question for all of you to analyze. Ibig sabihin nun, may mga pagkakataon na kinakailangan natin i-analyze at iiwan ko yan sa inyo. Now, I want you to focus with other activities here. Ginahid ko na po kayo. Siyempre, hindi magiging kagaya sa ibang grade level na spoon feeding. Now, tinuruan ko kayo kung paano matukoy ang sagot. Babalik ko sa aking upuan and I'll give you 2 minutes to answer numbers 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ilalagay ninyo sa inyong paper yung tamang sagot and then we will check afterwards. So, babalik ako sa aking upuan at hihintayin ko ang inyong kasagutan. Okay? To our viewers who are currently on Facebook, tandaan lagi, pag sumasagot tayo ng simple present tense ng verb, pareho lang naman kasi po yan na simple present tense. Ang pinagkaiba lang ay kung paano siya gagamitin, depende doon sa ating subject. Okay? Answer na po.
Sa online, ang dami ko pong nakikita na ang sagot daw nila ay I think. Oh, ang galing. Tingnan natin na kung tama yung I think at hindi siya I thinks. Okay? Tandaan, isip mabuti, ano kaya yun? So, may cliffhanger question ako pero meron kayong enough time to answer other activities na ating kailangang sagutan. Nasa pivot module po ninyo. Analyze these questions. Okay? So, 2 minutes starts now. I will toss muna to our webinar host. Magbibigay sila ng important announcement because for tomorrow, may activities kami. So, i-explain po yun ng ating mga webinar host. Hintay lang po natin silang mag-sign out. Magpapakita po sila in a while. Ayan. So, again, I am giving you enough time to answer first. Hindi natin ginawa ito na parang kagaya sa ibang lower grades. Siyempre, you are mature. Tinuro ko yung technique. Kinakailangan gano'n kasi habang sinusulat ninyo, nag-a-analyze kayo. Kagaya ng ginawa ko kanina, you need to analyze po. Okay? Think. So magbibigay po ng announcement. Ayan, hintay-hintay lang po natin, papasok po sila. Bigay po sila ng parang ano lang, short commercial habang kayo po ay sumasagot. Tapos magbibigay sila ng info about the cyber etiquette para po maging handa kayo at aware. Syempre, grade 5, ayan. So, meron akong pinapasagutan, hindi lang yung number 2. So, please have your self-learning module. Ang aking iba pang pinasasagutan ay ang number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nasa simple present tense pa lang po tayo. Ayan.
Hello, Mark. Thank you. We'll explain yung lesson
Hi, Sir
So congratulations po,
Sir
Teacher
Alvin,
Mark.
dahil binigyan natin ng enough time ang ating mga participants to think about the answer. Ngayon naman, pagbigay ka po ng, baka pwedeng ikaw magbigay ng announcement kung ano ba ang kung meron ba tayong ETULay tomorrow or wala. So, go ahead. At habang ako ay may ipine-prepare. Thank you, Sir Alvin.
So, sa ating mga viewers po, bukas po ang ating ETULay ay hindi po muna i-ere dahil meron pong seminar ang mga nasa ETU, ang inyong mga tutor, at ang mga sabi natin schedule tomorrow na ating lesson ay i-ere na lang po siya ng Thursday. So abang-abangan po ninyo kung sino-sino po ang inyong makakasama sa ating ETULay na online tutor by Thursday. Gaya po ng sabi namin, wala po tayong tutor bukas dahil nasa seminar po kami. So paalala, habang wala po kami, subukan na po ninyong pag-aralan ang ating mga lesson sa module para pagdating ng Thursday, medyo nasusundan nyo na po ang ating lesson. So yan lamang po at mag-ingat po tayong lahat.
Thank you, Sir Alvin. So, ayan, binigay na po ni Sir Alvin ang announcement. Kaya, hahabol na lang po kami. Promise po yun. So, alamin natin ang sagot. Sa number 2, ano kaya ang sagot? Think o thinks? Kasi di ba sabi ko, singular, tapos dapat may S. Think ba o thinks? Alam nyo ba kung ano ang sagot? Ang sagot natin ay think, hindi thinks. Sir Mark, ba't gano'n sabi mo pag singular may S? Pag meron tayong personal pronoun na I, walang S. Okay? Walang S. Dahil I, ikaw mismo yun, kahit na singular siya, yung ating pong verb I, kinakailangan mag-jive po doon. At isa po yun sa rule na natatandaan po natin. So, think ang ating sagot, hindi thinks. Walang S. Okay? So, ito sa question na, I blank about the importance of water in our daily activities. It's think. I think. Okay? Now, we move on. Lipat tayo sa number 5. O, sa mga bata, alam nyo ba na ang tamang sagot sa number 5 ay, read ko yung sentence the science club proposes a water conservation program for the school. The subject here is science club. Iilang club yun? Isa lang. Therefore, our answer is proposes. By S. Proposes. Clear? Write it down. Hindi ko na kailangang isulat kasi di ba mag-guide nga O dapat ikinig. Next. Hindi natin po pwedeng gamitin ang salitang propose dahil po ito ang ating pong lesson pa ay nasa simple present tense. Okay? So simple present tense ay current natin siyang ginagawa. Ngayon siya ginagawa. So mula doon sa choices, either propose or proposes. So hinahanap natin yung subject-verb agreement. Ang tamang sagot ay proposes. Number 6. Every Filipino does his/her share of serving his/her country. The correct answer here is does. Does. Collectively. Okay? Does. Next, number 7. Each scouting organization teach the youth to be obedient and responsible. The correct here is teach. Why? Iisa lang eh. Each scouting organization. Isa pa lang naman ang tinutukoy dun. Each. Oh, hindi naman all of them. Okay? Next. Number 8. Ethan cleans his surroundings. Ethan cleans his surroundings. Dahil isa lang si Ethan, ang sagot natin ay cleans. Okay? Now we move on to number 9. Manny and Joy segregates their household waste. I repeat, Manny and Joy segregates their household waste. The correct answer here is segregate. Walang S. Bakit? Plural. Dalawa sila eh. Dalawa. Manny and Joy. Now, Villamiel family manages the finances well. Villamiel family manages the finances well. Huwag kayong magpapalito dito. Yung ating subject ay Villamiel family. Ilang family? Isa lang naman eh. Alam natin na sa isang pamilya ay maraming tao pero hindi naman natin tinukoy kung sino-sino sila. Ang ating hinahanap lang ay yung subject, Villamiel family. Isa lang. Therefore, it needs a singular verb which is manages. Pag kayo ay sumasagot ng sentence, huwag kayong pilosopo. Kasi pag naging pilosopo kayo, magkakamali kayo ng sagot. Hindi pwede yung Villamiel family. Sir Mark, sa pamilya di ba marami? May tatay, may nanay, may ate, may kuya. Manage lang yun kasi marao. Hindi, kasi meron tayong plural na families. So tatandaan niyo, huwag pilosopo sa pagsagot, ha? Kaya, tatandaan, pag tinukoy natin ang simple present tense, pwede yang may S o walang S. Importante na alam natin yung subject-verb agreement para mabigay natin ang tamang simple present tense. Okay? I hope na intindihan po yung part na to so I can now move on to the next part, the simple past tense. Nakasurvive tayo sa subject-verb agreement ng simple present tense. And let's move forward. Okay? Lipat ako sa board.
Example here. The children watch a documentary film. The verb which is used is watch. The children watched a documentary film. Now, the word watch is used as a past tense. Past form na siya. Bakit? Because of the word ed. Ganun lang kadali. The children watch a documentary film. Bakit siya past? Watch. Watch, ed. Clear? Lipat tayo sa susunod. For our next sentence, it rained almost every week last month. The verb which is used here is rained. What form? It is in past tense. Bakit siya simple past tense? Rained. Rained. ED. Clear? So, ganun lang kasimple kung paano natin malalaman na nasa past form siya. May D. ED. Watch. Rained. So, to do that, I want you to turn your self-learning module on page 9 and let us answer this item. Tukuyin natin kung ano ang tamang past tense or simple past tense ng items numbers 1 to number 10. And I'll guide you. Ready? Number 1, the question is, the tourists went to Palawan last month. Alin sa dalawa ang past tense? Go or went? If your answer is went, then you are correct. Kasi tapos na. Went. Pumunta ka na. Went. Yung go, yung wala siya ginagawa. Okay? So, went ang tamang sagot. Sulat. Number 2. The next question is, she heard about its beautiful spots through ads. So, ang ating pagpipilian ay hears at heard. Alin sa dalawa ang past tense? Hears o heard? Kapag pinili mong sagot ay heard, then you are correct. Yung went, kakaiba. Bakit? Ang tawag sa went kasi ay irregular verbs. Meron kasi tayo mga past tense o past form ng isang verb na hindi nag-e-end sa ed. But we need to just have a look at it at madali nating maiintindihan kung nangyari ba siya sa past by getting the context clues. Okay? Now, let's move on. Sir Mark, ano yung context clues doon? Paano nasabing past na siya? Meron kasi siyang word doon na last month. So, yun ang kanyang time period. Next, we move on to number 3. I remember my trip to Palawan 5 years ago. Nagbigay siya ng time period na 5 years ago. Therefore, ano ba ang tamang sagot? Remembered o remember? Kung meron kang ibinigay na time signature, matutukoy mo kaagad na dapat ang sagot mo ay nasa past tense. Yung remember kasi ay anong klase ng verb? Yung remember ay isang plural form ng simple present. Di ba? Inaral natin kanina. Yung remembered ang past tense. Kaya ito ang ating sagot. Ganon ang pagtukoy natin. So when we look at a sentence, we need to analyze it very well kung kailan siya nangyari para matukoy natin ang tamang sagot at hindi tayo makapili ng maling kasagutan. Now we move on. Number 4. Sinulat ko siya ng buo kasi kinakailangan ko siya explain. Maraming nagkakamaling tao kapag ito ang naging question. That is my first and only airplane ride so far. Sir Mark, paano siya naging past tense? Di ba tapos nang nangyari? O, ito ngayon. Ano ang tamang verb be ang tama natin gamitin para masabi natin na nasa past tense na siya? Mga bata na nanonood sa grade 5, in-explain ko to kanina sa lesson ko sa grade 3. ang ating verb be na is, are, was, and were ay may technique na tinutukoy. Kinakailangan lang tignan ninyo yung letra. Kapag may letter W yan, either was or were, yan ay may letter W na nangangahulugang wakas or tapos na. Therefore, ang sagot natin dito dapat ay that was. That was my first and only airplane ride so far. Sir Mark, parang pwede yung that is. Pag that is, pwede ba yun? Pag sinabi mong that is my first ride and only airplane ride so far, ngayon lang siya nangyari? Ganun ang ibig sabihin. Because when we use is and are, both of these words are actually for present tense. Ang inaaral natin, past tense. Dahil inaaral natin ang past tense, ang ating mismong pipiliin na verb ay dapat nasa past form. And was is in its past form. Is that clear? So in number 4, that was my first and only airplane ride so far. Remember the technique. Sir Mark, paano natin matutukoy na yung verb be ay isang past tense or past form? Was, were, wala, wakas na, W, meaning end, past tense yun. Past tense yun. Kaya, yun ang gagamitin natin. Pero kung ang tanong natin ay nasa present tense, ang pipiliin mo ay either is or are, but following the subject-verb agreement. Clear? Hi! Lipat tayo sa susunod. Mahaba pa, erase muna ako. So, sulat kayo ng sagot sa mga bata. Ay, thank you. So, i-erase po muna ni Sir Sherwin. We are now done with numbers 1 to 4. Ayan. Talagang dinidetail ko yung turo para maintindihan ninyo clearly paano natin matutukoy na ito ay simple present or simple past. Okay? Huwag malilito. Tignan ang instruction kung present tense or past tense. Sabi dito, past. So, pipiliin natin yung verb na past tense. Number 5. Ayan, dito sa question na to, marami pa rin nagkakamali dyan. We have a 3-day tour in that place. Kung past tense na ito, tatandaan, pag past tense, gamitin mo yung had. Okay? Ang had po ang tinatawag natin na pang past tense. Ay po, sumabit ako. Yung po yung ginagamit natin na past tense po ng verb na ito, ha? Yung had, hindi have. Had po ang past tense. Kaya yun ang ating pipiliin. Kaya kapag nakakita tayo ng question na alin dito yung nasa past form, had yun. Okay? Now, let's move on. Number 6. Rhea, decide. Decided to apply for a job in the city last week. Now, if we wanted to write down a very good sentence in the future, syempre kinakailangan matuto kayong sumulat ng good sentence or magandang sentence, look at this one. Pag tinukoy natin ang past tense, dapat meron kang ginagamit na time period. Last week. After that, recreate a sentence out of it na dapat ay tumukoy na maging past form siya. With our choices, decides is actually a simple present tense. Therefore, hindi yan ang sagot. Dahil past tense ang tinutukoy natin, decided ang ating kasagutan. Nakuha po ba yon? Ganun dapat i-analyze ang set of questions. Alam natin kung ano yung hinahanap. Para yung pagtukoy natin sa verb, hindi tayo magkakamali. Simple lang, di ba? S, ES, present. D, ED, past. Okay? Tapos yung dagdag nga, is, are, present. Was, were, past. Had, past. O, lagay nyo na sa notebook nyo. Yun yung mga technique. Next, lipat tayo sa number 7. Next for number 7. Look at this. Sabi niya, she works in a factory 3 years ago. What is the time period used? Correct. If your answer is 3 years ago, mahusay. Sabi nga natin, pag sumulat ng past tense na sentence, maglagay ka ng time period. At mula doon, balik tayo dito. Work, works. Work, works. Which one is in past tense? Work or works? If your answer is work, then you are correct. Because works is actually a singular form of a verb. Singular verb para sa present tense. So, hindi pwedeng maging present tense yan dahil naglagay ka ng time period. Now, we move on. Number 8. The trip. The trip happens a month ago. Tingnan nyo, anong time period? A month ago. Tapos na. Therefore, pili ka ng verb na pang past tense. Happened. Ito yun. Why? Happens is a singular verb for present tense. So, kinakailangan analyze mabuti. Dahil, magkakamali kayo kapag pinili ninyo yung maling sagot. So, you need to analyze and you need to determine paano matutukoy kung sino ang, o kung alin ang past tense o kung alin ang present tense. Okay? Now, we move on. Di ko na isusulat yung sentence ng number 9. The hen sits on its eggs until they hatch. Yung word na sat ay hindi naman natin pwedeng gamitin na sated dahil walang salitang sated. Dahil ang sat ay isang irregular verb. Therefore, in number 9, ang sagot natin dapat ay sat. Yon ang kanyang past tense or simple past tense. And in number 10, my grandparents drinks the hot tea that I made for them. Wala tayong salitang drink. Wala tayong salitang drink. Walang drink. Okay? Walang ganon. Walang drink. Pero meron tayong drunk. Bakit ganon? Kasi po, yan ay isang irregular verb. Yung po yung binabanggit ko kanina na hindi lahat ng past tense ay dinadagdagan ng ed. May mga verb tayo kagaya ng sat at drunk na irregular verbs. At ito po ay ang kanyang past tense. Hindi natin pwedeng piliin ang salitang drinks dahil ang drinks ay isang present tense. I hope mula sa aking ipinakita ay naunawaan ninyo kung paano matutukoy ang isang past tense. Now, we boil down to the last one, the easiest, the future tense. So, magpapabura muna ako ng board. Yan, malapit tayo matapos. Ang haba ng lesson.
11:26. 4:26. Ay, 5.
Okay. Now, we move on to the next one. What we call as the future tense of the verb or yung simple future tense. Madali lang to. Ang simple future tense, ang ginagawa lang niya, nilalagyan natin to ng word na will or shall plus the base form of the verb. Pag sinabi nating base form, kung ano yung pinaka-verb niya o yung main verb niya, doon sa unang bahagi, parang run, yan, walk, dadagdagan mo lang yun ng will or shall. Sir Mark, may pagkakaiba ba yung will or shall? Meron naman, pero ganito yon. Kung gusto mo maging polite, shall gagamitin mo. Parang masyado kang magalang. Kunyari, I shall return. Ayan. Polite yon, pero pwede mo na sabihin, I will return. Parang sa conversation, pag sinabi kasi sa American English yung term na shall, napaka-polite ng tao. Kaya kung ikaw masyado kang polite, di gumamit ka ng shall, pero kung gusto mong usual conversation, will is okay. Okay? Now, let's move. They will celebrate in our sentence here, it says, they will celebrate the United Nations Day in October. We also have here a time period. But our time period here is not yet happening. Pag hindi pa nangyayari, sa future pa siya mangyayari, yun ang future tense. Kaya dahil dito sa salitang in October, hindi pa nangyayari, gagamitin natin yung subject na, gagamitin natin yung future tense ng verb na will celebrate dahil hindi pa siya nangyayari. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na they celebrate the United Nations Day in October. Mali yun. Bakit? Sinasabi niya na pang future, lagyan mo ng will. Ganun po ang aking gagawin. Kapag nasa future tense ang isang verb, dadagdagan natin ng will. To make it easier, look at this. Bubuo ako ng isang format. Okay? We have here, the first one, ito yung tinatawag nating base form of the verb. Sa mga magulang na nanonood, pwede nyo gamitin tong style na ito para i-guide ang inyong anak. Base form. Next, after the base form, we have the past tense. The simple past tense. After that, we have the present tense. After that, we have the future tense. When we talk about the simple present, simple past, and simple future, lalagyan lang natin yun ng demarcation dito, nakadugtong. Pero, pagdating sa present tense, lagyan natin ng sanga. Bakit? Meron tayong subject-verb agreement. Singular o plural? Nakuha? Now we move on. Base form. Halimbawa, ang ating base form ay walk. Ano ang past tense ng walk? Dagdagan ng ed. Walk. Ayun, pangit ang sulat ko. Ulit. Mukhang letter E lahat. Walk. Now, punta tayo ng present tense. May singular at plural. Ano ang singular? Singulars. Walks. Ano yung plural niya? Walk. Nakuha? So kapag tayo ay nagturo ng simple past, simple present, nakalagay kagad sa utak natin na ay pagdating doon sa simple present tense, pwede siyang mag-branch out kasi depende sa subject-verb agreement. Next, future tense. Ang gagawin lang ay dagdagan ng will, copy the base form. Take note, hindi ka titingin dito, hindi ka titingin dito. Titingin ka sa base form. Will walk. At ganon bubuuin ang konseptong ito. So for teachers out there who's currently watching, hi, I'm back. Sorry sa mga nanonood. Nagka-problema yung internet namin, na-disconnect kami. Yan, live kasi tayo. So again, for those teachers who are currently watching, ayan, kasi syempre gusto natin magturo tayo ng correct format. So importante na kapag dating natin doon sa simple present tense, hindi lang natin basta ituturo na mag-a-add tayo ng S. Kasi magkakamali ang bata dahil ang mangyari, meron tayong plural form kasi. Kaya, importante na kapag tinuro po mga magulang sa inyong mga anak, yung lesson na ito, pag inuna ang present tense, isa nga sa dalawa. Singular verb ba siya o plural form ang verb? Para tama ang kanilang konsepto. And with that, these are the things that we need to remember in this lesson. Aside from that, another technique, for past tense, at nakakita kayo ng mga words, pag meron niyang was at where, past tense yun. Tapos na, wakas, wakas. Pero kapag nakakita tayo ng is and are, following the subject-verb agreement, yan ay nasa present tense. Maliwanag? O yan o, naka-align o, singular is, are plural, at gaya nga ng nabanggit ko, kung magalang ka, pwede mong sabihin ang shall walk. Maliwanag po ba yun? And these are all the things that you need to remember in understanding the lesson for grade 5 English. Now, we have one pending activity here, nasa likod, for future tense. This one will be hanging, sagutin, at ating pong bibigyan ng kasagutan yan sa susunod nating pagkikita because we have a follow-up. Marami pa po. At kung nakuha ninyo yung technique o paraan, binabati ko kayo dahil ito ay makakatulong sa inyo sa proseso to understand the lesson about understanding the simple tenses of the verbs. Simple past tense, simple present tense, and simple future tense. And this is your tutor Mark, naglilingkod